to Hemi Brothers Access. Today I'm standing, this will be our creamery here, but I'm standing here by the milk barn in the creamery. Thought I would take a chance to show you guys today kind of the milking barn and explain how a lot of the equipment and stuff works. And I'm actually going to have my brother Michael explain a lot of that to you, because that's what he's in charge of. But kind of windy, but there is a holding pen. The milk house and the milk tank. So we'll go try and find Michael.
So I'm Michael Hemi, and I'm the middle brother, middle child of us 5 kids. And my job here at the farm, me and Aaron, our youngest brother, we do the cow management side of things. And me in particular, I do the reproduction and cow health along with Aaron. And Aaron does the nutrition side of things. But we kind of both manage the milking process of it all. Me and Aaron do the primary milking here at the farm as far as the brothers go. We do most of the cow management that way. So. Where we're standing at right here is the holding pen. And this is where we bring the cows in. You see the heifers are here right now. This is where the breeding heifers eat during the day, and they go back out to the pasture out there. So that's what's going on right now. But whenever we milk, we shut those gates then in the holding pen. We bring the girls in here. And this is where they just kind of wait to be milked. In the summertime, we hang fans from the rafters in here, and you can kind of see these sprinklers. We have drop down. Cows off. We have rated cooling for the cows. Whenever it gets up above like 70 degrees, we do that. So once we start the milking process, we bring them into our milking parlor. And right now it's kind of, we have this curtain set up and stuff like that for the winter time, but it's kind of warm enough today we could open it up. But when we milk, we bring the cows in. This is called a parabone parlor. It's a hybrid between like a herringbone, which is an old-fashioned parlor, and a parallel parlor. So it's kind of or a New Zealand type parlor, pretty popular with New Zealanders. So Dad built this parlor because it was cost effective, and he just did it for a startup. With the grazing operation, it's pretty appealing. You can put a lot of cows in here and get a lot of cows milked at once.
But not ideal. If we had it to do over, we'd probably make it wider.
Yeah.
Where we could have a rapid exit to where they could just walk straight out front instead of having to go out single file through the gate there. And when Dad built this barn, he built it for the size of Jersey or grazing cows, smaller frame cows. And now we have Holstein cows, and they don't fit in here as well as the Jersey do. It works, but I kind of, if you're in the dairy industry and you know you're going to be in it for a while, I would rather spend the money up front and have a nicer parlor. Oh yeah.
Something that's more efficient.
And probably more stainless steel.
Yeah.
Because this would be the second steel we've had here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can. So. Yep. So, anyways, so whenever we stand down in the pit down here, and just kind of do it this way. That way, it's the appropriate height that you can get to their udder and milk them pretty easily and comfortably. Whenever we milk cows, we have a protocol we always go by. Whenever we milk these cows, we're going to have good clean udders to milk whenever we're milking them. So we prep them before we milk them. And the way we do that, we have a towel. We go and we pre-wipe them to knock off all the debris. And then we have this dipper that's got an iodine solution in it. It's 1% iodine. And so you just squeeze the dipper, the solution comes out, and then you'll dip each cow, like my fingers, cow's teeth, go like that. 30 seconds after you pre-dip them. And then you'll go through, each cow gets their own individual microfiber towel, and you'll swipe those cows dry, and then we have good clean udder to work with to attach a milker to. But when we go to milk these cows, we want to have it clean, dry teeth. That way we have less chance of her getting a mastitis infection in her udder. So after we get them wiped, we put the milking unit on. Right now these milkers are set up for the wash cycle. They got these cups on them so the wash water will go through them. But so this is called our claw, where the milk comes into. These rubber inflations, that's what goes on the cow's feet. And these vacuum lines that come to it, you kind of hear the pulsating going on, the sound right now in here. That vacuum is just pretty well squeezing those inflations, rubber inflations, where it squeezes and milks out the cow pretty gently that way. So it's, if you guys push your finger in it right now, you can feel how gentle it really is. But right now, I'll turn this thing on. So that's the vacuum that pretty well holds the milker on the cow, and also takes the milk from the claw through the milk line hose and into the stainless steel milk line up ahead. And so pretty well we have the vacuum level set at 11.5 psi, and at that level it's high enough where it'll hold the milking unit on the cow but won't harm the cow. If you have it set too high, you can do some damage to the teat ends on the cows, and you don't want to do that because that can lead to mastitis infections and whatnot like that. So we don't want to do any harm to the cow. We want to do right by the cow, and so we always make sure that that vacuum level is right on. So.
And we're also on a pretty good routine of replacing the inflations too. Like how many milkings?
It's rated for 1,500 milkings, so what we do is about every 2 months we'll replace the inflations. Yeah, that way, over time they get worn, and then the more they get worn, they create little valleys inside the inflation. Those valleys can hold bacteria, and we don't want that. So we also have these drop hoses in between each cow whenever we milk. We don't want them to get any contagious mastitis from cow to cow, so we rinse out these units with an acid sanitizer, and the sanitizer will kill any bacteria. So if one cow has a mastitis infection we don't know about, she doesn't spread it to the next cow that gets this milker put on her.
And that's sanitized water in these hoses here.
Yeah, sanitizer inside these hoses. Yeah. So something we just started doing that we're really happy with. It's really helped us manage better.
Yep.
So, and then after every milking, we will hang these back up, and we run the milking system through a hot detergent wash, and then it's followed by a cold acid rinse. And then before we milk, we'll run a chlorine sanitizer through the milkers to sanitize everything before we start. That way we have a clean system.
Now what about as far as a post-dip?
Oh, and then we also, after we're done, we have this post-dip, which is a heptanionic acid. I know I just butchered that, I can never say it right. But that's what this is, and it's same deal. It's just a pink dip, and it's really good about conditioning the cow's teats, the way their skin's nice and conditioned on the teats.
Yep.
I really like that one. But yeah, once the milk, like I said, it goes through this hose and goes into this milk line. It comes down here to this receiver jar, and this receiver jar holds 5 gallons of milk. It's got these little sensors, these probes that go down into the jar, and these little sensors kick on the milk pump. It never gets full enough, and this milk pump will pump the milk through this filter. We have a filter in here that we put in after every milking. before the next milking, and that way it can filter out any debris that may get in the milk system while we're doing the milking process. We filter stuff out. It pumps through here, pumps overhead, and goes through that wall into our tank room. So this is the tank room, and this is a wash vat, like I was talking about when we do our wash system that we use whenever we wash the lines out. But here's the line that comes through and goes through here, comes over to what we call our pre-cooler. This pre-cooler is like a heat transfer system. It has like 11 or 12 stainless steel plates. The milk runs through on one side of that stainless steel plate, and we run cold water through the other side of that stainless steel plate. So whenever milk leaves the cow, it leaves her at her body temperature, which is 101.5. And so depending on the time of year, how cool the ground is, depends on how effective the water is running through there. But a lot of times, like especially during the winter, this pre-cooler, by running that water on the other side of that plate, it can get that milk down to 55 degrees, from 101 to 55 degrees whenever it hits the bulk tank.
By just running it by well water.
Yeah, just running it by well water.
So then we only have to cool it down another 20 degrees, really,
Yeah,
roughly,
yeah.
with electricity.
Yeah, a little less. So then the bulk tank, whenever it comes to the bulk tank, it'll stay at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And where it'll be stored for no more than 2 days. A milk truck comes, we have enough storage for 2 day storage, and the milk truck comes every other day and picks up milk. This bulk tank holds 2,800 gallons of milk. Whenever they do come to pick the milk up, you can see right now it's in tank washer mode. It'll get rinsed out, and then it also runs a hot wash through it, and an acid rinse, and then we run a sanitizer before we milk for the bulk tank. Right now the cows are milking about 8 gallons of milk a day. It's about what they give, about 69 pounds right now. So we usually get above that, get below that a little bit, but that's usually pretty average for us around here. So we have enough room with our number of cows that this shouldn't be a storage problem, especially if we start producing more cheese. We won't have less problems, or have less problems with storage that way. Right now we're doing 90% of our milk still leaves the farm going to DFA or cooperative, and 10% goes into cheese right now.
Yep.
So another thing in here, Nathan, whenever he wants to make cheese, he just takes this flex hose off, and he just goes over here, and he hooks it up to that valve right there, and then he has a transfer pump of his own, and he kicks that transfer pump on, and goes through this flex line, and goes through the wall there. There's stainless steel line, 2 stainless steel lines run through the creamery, and then he's got his wash line to return his wash water whenever he washes that out. So that works really slick for him. So
Yeah, and then he filters the milk out a second time,
yeah,
basically on the end of his flex hose in there.
yeah, he's got a cheesecloth he puts on there, so it's filtered twice.
Yeah, which is pretty clean once it goes into this bulk tank.
Yeah, that filter pretty well catches everything.
If there is any little bit, it's going to be on the bottom of the tank, and then he'll catch it that time.
So.
Yep. So kind of explain the as far as milk quality, the award that you just got.
Oh yeah. So for the second straight year, we've gotten a somatic cell count quality award. Somatic cell count is basically a white blood cell count in the milk. So whenever a cow has a mastitis infection, white blood cells go to attack the infection. So they're just measuring how many white blood cells are present in the milk, and how many cells per milliliter of milk is how they measure that. So Ours this past year averaged 230 somatic cell count per milliliter, and the previous year is roughly about the same. So our DFA cooperative gave us an award for that milk quality. The lower your somatic cell count is, the longer your shelf life will be for a product. So we make a point to have a good somatic cell count because, first of all, it's what's best for the cow because we want a good, healthy cow. So that's what's best for the cow. But also, the end product will be better if we have a lower somatic cell count, have a higher quality milk.
Yeah, or we'll have longer shelf life with our cheese.
Yep. So some we're pretty proud of. Right now, our somatic cell count is as low as it's ever been. Our last test did 98,000. So we're really pretty happy with where we're going on that.
And the legal limit is is it still 750?
Yeah.
Before they won't pick you up.
It's 750 or 650. I can't remember. Luckily, I can't remember if we don't ever get close to that ever anymore.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's, yeah.
We're well under.
We're well under. If you start getting deducted on your somatic cell count quality, once you get up to like 350 or 400, start getting deducts. So we get a premium from our cooperative, and that's really nice too. So I give you kind of an incentive to do well. But like I said, it's good for several reasons. With the cows, you just want to do a good job with the cows and really take good care of them that way. And then they take care of you in return. But also for our creamery side of things, it's really good for that. So.
All right. Is that about it?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Yep.